Alright, so in this video we are going to install a composite mod board into this Atari 2600. This is for the 6ers of the 2600 series, so these are the original ones. You can tell it's a 6er because it's got six toggles on the front. If it's got 4, then you've got one of the later versions like the Woody or the Darth Vader. Those ones, I also sell mod boards for those ones on my Etsy store. Link will be down in the description. So first we'll start by taking this thing apart. We will flip it over. There is a bunch of screws. There's one there. Take that out. Take that one. One there. And one there. A couple in the bottom. Might as well take these two out as well. They hold the RF shield in place. There we go. Now we'll flip it over. And we can take the cover off. Like that. We'll put that aside for now. Alright, and then we can take the guts out. Alright, so we'll flip this guy over like that, and we'll take these here 6 screws out. There. 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 And there. And then we'll take off this RF shield. Put that aside. And next, there's 2 more screws here and here. We'll take those out as well. So. And like that. Then we will want to, should have done this first maybe, disconnect this little ribbon cable here. So that needs to get unplugged. Flip it back over. And then we can take the main board out. Now, the chip we're looking for is this guy right here. That is the TIA chip. It is responsible for the audio and video for the Atari 2600. So we'll have to remove this chip. It's in a socket already. So in order to remove that chip, you can either use a chip puller or you could use a flathead, flat-bladed screwdriver. And in order to remove it, you can just stick the screwdriver in between the socket and the chip and just ever so slightly turn it to pry it out. Flip it over. Do the other side. And then just keep going back and forth, working it out. It'll take a few tries. Just be careful not to bend any of the pins. Okay. Alright, so now we are ready to install the mod board. So here it is right here. On the board itself, this here is pin 1 of the socket, and this here is pin 1 of the board. So we want to install it in this orientation. Snap that right in there. And now we're going to install the TIA chip back where it was. And you'll want to make sure that you keep the orientation correct. So pin 1 has to go here. And you can tell that it's pin 1 because here is a little notch. A little notch right there. That half moon shape. That means that this here is pin 1. And that has to get inserted into the board or into the socket like so. We'll set it down, get it in there like so. Make sure all the pins are in good, and that's it. The mod is now installed. So we will now put it back in this guy. So we'll want to bring the cable around so that it's like that. Slot this back in here like so, and then we'll put these 2 screws back in. Like that. Second screw. Like that. Then we will take this cord, wrap it around like that. Grab the RF shield cover and put that back in there. Find a little nice spot for this cable to sit. Like so. And then put these screws back in. Whoops. Apologize for that. Hit the very wobbly camera mount. There we go. 2 more. That screw in there. That screw in there. Now once the cable's in, the cable is in there snug, but not, it's not going to cut the cable, so that's good. Okay, so now we'll grab the bottom portion again. There we are. And we can now feed this cable. As you can see, they're RCA connectors, but they're female. The whole purpose of this mod is that you don't have to modify anything of your actual Atari 2600. So there's no holes that need to be drilled. There's no soldering that needs to be done in this mod. And it's completely reversible, of course, because we're not modifying anything. So we are now just gonna run those through there. One at a time. Yeah, we'll do this one first. Fit through there quite nicely. There we go. Good. Of course, we want to put the ribbon cable back in. Route the cable. Way of putting that back in there. There we go. That's better. Now we'll flip it back over. And we'll put these 2 screws back in first. Like that. This one here has seen better days. Doesn't grab very good anymore. Helps if I use the right screw, probably. There we go. Perfect. We'll flip it back over again. There we go. In the meantime, some of these felt pads would have fallen out. Stick those back on. There. Take the lid. There we go. Flip it back over. And put the screws back in. Now, when you're putting screws in plastic, usually a good idea to just spin the screwdriver backwards for a little bit until you feel it that the screw falls into the threads. That way you won't cut new threads into the old plastic, which is good. And, you know, tight is tight. And there you go. So now the mod is installed. You're ready to play some games. Now, these mods are available on my Etsy store, link in the description. There's also other replacement parts for the Atari 2600s, like the remote control boards for the joysticks. They are available there as well. They seem to kind of go flaky after all these years. But thank you for watching, and have a good rest of the day.